Sorry.
My name is...
Joined the Air Force in 1957, came out in 1971, and that was it. Oh, you want more? Oh,
I knew you were going to do that.
I know.
sorry. My trade was a technician in the airports. Air traffic control, navigational aids, the equipment that ambulances and fire engines use, all that sort of thing. My first posting was Thorney Island. Terrific, out in the beach, wonderful. I can recommend it to anybody. The next posting was Germany, in the woods somewhere in an air freight cabin, looking after navigational equipment that was beamed into the east. Don't know why, for some reason or other. And then back to England, and they sent me to Malaya for 3 months in a tent. Terrific. Boy Scout stuff. This had everything. Do you know what? In places like Malaya, people turn up, Chinese people turn up with barrows, open it up, the top, the fire going, and there they were making bacon banjos for you and selling them just like that. Out in Malaya, where on earth did he come from?
Sorry, I still talk about the banjo.
Sorry.
Deliveroo of the day. You know
But-
Deliveroo?
No, there was nothing like, well, it was before then, wasn't it? Sorry, then, of course, I got married at somewhere around there. But anyway, but then they sent me to Oman, and have you seen in the paper that it rains in the desert? Well, we were in the desert. There was just 100 of us stuck out there with nothing around us at all. And then it pours and pours and pours with rain for about 3 days running. And rain does occur in the desert, and there are things called wadis. And these are riverbeds, and they appear in the same place every time. Every time it rains.
Is it a Madeira?
Is it a what? Anyway, after about 3-4 days, it stops. Unfortunately, the sand becomes very soggy.
Yeah.
And things like, well, aeroplanes can't land, so we had to do without English food. So we had to live on crayfish. Oh, wonderful, crayfish. People got fed up with it. I never did. Crayfish. And then frogs. Thousands and thousands of frogs everywhere. You were, anyway, slipping on them. Then after a while they all disappeared, and you were back to a desert again. It was as though frogs didn't appear. Did they appear? Yes, they did. There were thousands of them. Some all gone. After that, I was sent back to England for a short time. And they asked me where I would like to go to, and I said, well, I'd like Gibraltar, Malta, or Cyprus. So they sent me to the next island along, and I spent 2.5 years in Singapore. And but then we had a child. In those days, children, when they flew, were in sky cots. You didn't have them on your lap. And our daughter, as the plane took off, started crying. Now this was a military aeroplane with, I would say, 80% servicemen on board. And there in this sky cot above everybody's head, there was a little baby crying, crying, crying. And as it got higher and higher, all of a sudden she let out an enormous wind, followed by what sounded like a nappy fall, and it was silent. Silent. There was a palpable sigh of relief in the whole aeroplane. We lived in Singapore for some while, and then we came back. We had a bit of a referendum as to whether I should stay in or stay out, and I lost. So I came out, and I couldn't find a job for a while. I know the feeling. I was looking and looking. I tried hundreds of places, not in my trade, so I became a salesman. And I was selling the components that I've been working with. And can I say, it was terrific. I thoroughly enjoyed it. You never knew what was behind the next door. And that went on for 29 years. And then I was retired from them because they had a rule: you can't work over the age of 60. You're not capable. I got a short-time job with a wholesaler in Enfield. That is hard work. So I only lasted out a year on that, and then totally retired. I'm going to say that's the end of my story, but it's not, because I'm still here.
Tony, can I ask you a question?
You
who
certainly can.
Who was it? What was the name of the company that you worked for as a salesman? Can you remember?
Yeah, I can. RS Components.
RS Components, okay. My husband has been in similar circles, so and they were always local to here, to Enfield.
RS Components?
Yeah.
RS Components.